You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
All righty, folks. Good morning. It is Friday. It's a beautiful day. I'm a little lopsided right now. My headset is working on the left side, not on the right side. No, I ain't been drinking. It's a beautiful day.
Cindy was complaining about that too, so I don't know. We'll have to check it out.
Okay, so it's not just that I'm crazy, which I am.
That hat and hair is, but
Okay.
you know.
Folks, it is Friday morning. It is Montgomery County. It is Conroe, Texas. It is the great state of Texas. We are wild and we're on fire. When you see this video, you will know why one of my guests, Tracy, who is a rather effervescent young lady who I just had the pleasure of meeting, is looking at me. And I don't know if she's looking at me going, this guy's weird. Oh, wait a minute. The eyebrow went up. I think she thinks I look pretty cool with this hair. That may be what it is. So, folks, we got a wild show today. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of my crazy stuff, but here's the usual line. It's a beautiful day. Get your stinking honey outside and enjoy this day. Go have some fun. Go make a difference in your life. Go make a difference in somebody else's life. And speaking of making a difference, I got to give a shout out to 3 young ladies last night who allowed me to be a part of an incredible organization that I want to know more of. Faith Fighting Cancer in Montgomery County. Maggie, don't know if you've tuned in yet. Paige, Karen, thank the 3 of you so much for asking me to be a part of that and allowing me. What an intimate, incredible setting. Folks, Madera Estates is beautiful. And Faith Fighting Cancer is a group of women who help people fighting cancer here in our community. And it can be something as simple as they don't have gas money to get to some of their programs. We raised some money last night at the end of the auction. There's been 10 families earmarked here in the community that they have no life because one of them's fighting for their life. So we were able to raise some money just to give them $500 to go do something. What are they going to do? Whatever they want. Go to Galveston. Go to Bryan College Station. Go to Huntsville. Here's $500. Go enjoy your life. And then, of course, they raised a lot more than that to do a lot more than that. So it was a wonderful night. Don Nimitz was the chairman. Incredible. I'll be posting a couple of hundred photos from last night later on this afternoon. So go to Montgomery County Lifestyle. Look for it. Faith Fighting Cancer is going to grab those photos and share them over. If you feel called to get involved, Belinda Lambright and Gail Laminack were the 2 champions that were representing, one from MD Anderson, one from Lone Star Family Health. And it was a fun night. Dwayne Ham, city councilman, he went down. He was ringing on the right side. John Reeves was the auctioneer. And Nathan Arrazate was on the left side, and we raised more money. So there, buddy. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Mr. City Councilman dude. And then Fearless Boxing, got to give them another shout out. Folks, check out Fearless Boxing on Facebook. They're right down on South Fraser, Nancy and them. I had to get on the show. I only had 20 minutes to work out this morning, and I felt like I was there the whole hour. I'm hurting. So check them out. Folks, Defenders Challenge tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock at Candy Cane Park. Firemen, EMS, active duty, retired, and police officers are doing 5 different events, 7 men and women teams. Starts at 10 a.m., so you better get there at 9. It's insane. It's going to start being a first to second annual. Sergeant First Class Gerving reached out to me and asked me if I could help put the word out. And I said, dude, if we put the word out, it's going to get big. It got huge. So we're looking at doing this as an annual event. We hope we have to move it to the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. Get out to Candy Cane Park at 10 o'clock. Time to Spare Entertainment. Beautiful multi-million-dollar bowling alley in Cut and Shoot, Texas. I know, right? Wow. We don't even have that anywhere else in Conroe, Montgomery County. Multi-million-dollar bowling alley, cafe, bar, restaurant, arcade. Grand opening is tomorrow. Get out there. They're raising some funds for a good cause. But most importantly right now is we're going to be talking about the Conroe Americana Music Festival. I have Mr. Rodney Pool in the studio, Tracy Brandon in the studio. We're going to take our customary quick little break, and when we come back, we are going to dive in, find out the history, the passion, the heart that this festival is all about. They're going to give some shouts out to their incredible volunteer team, from the volunteer chairman to the PR chairman to the food chairman. there's got to be a porta potty chairman. We'll find out who that was. So, folks, you're listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate. We'll be right back.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
All right, folks, we are back. How do y'all like that music? Rodney, do you like that music?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tracy?
Any kind of music.
Do you know who that is?
Tell me.
Ezra
Oh,
Charles.
I love Ezra.
Ezra Charles in the works.
Ezra Charles. Ezra actually wanted to play the festival. So
Ezra and I were talking about that way back, about
Yeah.
the festival. I think I mentioned to Rodney, the Sounds of Texas Music Series. I met him, oh my God, in the 70s.
He's been around a long time.
Yeah, and then a couple of years ago, I lost the CDs I got from him, and we reached out, and look, I thought he was playing me, but he sort of remembered a few things, and I'm like, oh my God.
No, yeah. He's a brilliant man.
And
An
just a
inventor,
nice
a
guy.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks, let's dive right in. We have Mr. Rodney Pool here, and everybody calls you the unofficial mayor of Conroe. How do you like that?
It's an honor to be called that, but it's kind of stretching it a little bit. I think there's so many people involved in it, that makes this happen.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor. Let the
Okay.
listeners know, give us a little bit of background on you, the corner pub, some of the business. Just tell us a little bit about Rodney.
Okay. I'm a native Houstonian, born and raised in the Heights. Went to Reagan High School. Got out of high school, went to several colleges, kicked around several colleges. Got drafted to the U.S. Army and ended up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. I met my wife there, Joyce. She's from Pittsburgh, and we got married and kind of settled in Pittsburgh for a while. And then I always wanted to come back to Houston. I had an opportunity to go to work for a company called Univac, which was a subcontractor of out at NASA. So I worked out there during, I guess, the last two Gemini, first two Apollo programs. Wasn't real. It was an exciting time, but I was more business oriented, and that was all highly engineering, technical stuff. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot there. But I had an opportunity to go to work for George Mitchell.
Oh, wow.
And so I went to work for him. We set up his first data processing department. And we were in the Houston Club building. That was in 1967. Worked for him for 35 years. And when he moved his headquarters to the Woodlands, and we moved from Houston and ended up in Conroe, my wife started a flower shop, Conroe Florist. That was in 1981, I think.
Where was that located?
It was
I remember that.
it was kind of interesting. That's what got us into the downtown area. There was an old Moran gas warehouse that was right across the street over here, and that happened to be the first place we put her flower shop in. So being part of downtown, that got us interested in the Friends of Conroe. They were just starting, and a lot of things were just beginning to start with the downtown. So we kind of joined into that program, and that's kind of got us started and getting a real interest in downtown. And as properties became available, Joyce and I would say, hey, let's just buy this one, see what happens. So we went out and started buying property.
So you're blaming her.
Yeah, absolutely. She's the one that started all of this. So anyway, it's been a real exciting experience, and we met a lot of great people through all of that. Had some great experiences, and had 3 kids, and they all help with the business. Lynn runs a corner pub for us.
Right.
She's our oldest daughter. My son lives in Kingwood, and he helps with the property management. So it's been a family venture, and we've enjoyed it.
You've seen the changes, and what's really cool, and look, folks, this is one of the most humble, gracious, caring men you'll ever want to meet. If you know him, you know what I'm saying. If you don't, you need to know him. you've not only seen the changes, you've helped steer the changes in a positive
Well,
direction.
you know, in a way, I guess. You know, early on, we got involved. I've developed some real good friendship with people that were from Conroe, so I just kind of inherited a lot of their passion for Conroe and downtown Conroe. And so I just kind of bought into that, and as time went, we would sit around in the Domino Hall, which is now Red Brick Tavern. That was maybe 25 years ago, and we would say, hey, let's compete with Austin. You know, look what Austin's doing. Let's do something that would put us in that, and, you know, we were just, the more beer we drank, the bolder we got with our
beer.
opinion. Yeah, right. So anyway, it's just now it's starting to happen, and so it's been a long journey. It's been fun. Made great friendship, great friends, and enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, let's fast forward, jump ahead of all that, and let's dive into the Conroe Americana Music Festival. Tell us a little bit about what this festival is, and then we're going to go back and we're going to talk about the dream that started it.
Okay, all right. Well, what it is just early on we developed a passion for music. I can't play an instrument, can't carry a tune, couldn't do any of that. But I just like music, and I like the people that are associated with music. And so Joyce and I started going to festivals, and many of my earlier friends, we would go, that we met in Conroe, we would go to festivals, and we would go families, we'd all go to these different festivals, and we'd always come back and say, hey, you know, we need to do something like that here. It'd be great. And it was always, you know, beer talk. We'd sit around and talk about it for a long time, and then you'd kind of drop the subject, you know, and go on. But as time went on, as downtown began to develop, more merchants came on board. We started getting a better synergy to do that. We originally set up Conroe Downtown Area Association as a merchants association, and it was established, I guess, about 15 years ago, primarily to, I don't know if you want to get into the history of all of that, but everything south of Main Street in downtown was dry. Mm-hmm. Everything north of Main Street was wet, which didn't make sense to anybody. No one can explain it. No one can explain why that happened. But nevertheless, that's the way it was. So we felt like in order to develop downtown, we needed to get downtown where we could bring in restaurants and have bars and, you know, have things that are attractions. And so we felt like that was pretty important that we get that done. So we set up the organization to primarily support that through contributions. We went out and we hired a company to come in and that specialized in these types of elections. And it was fairly expensive, but we went to a lot of the realtors and a lot of developers that were affected by it. They had property that, you know, they were limited to how they could, you know, promote their property. So we, that was the reason it was established. The next thing we tackled, after we got that done, the next thing we tackled was we were the originators of the Kids Fest. Not many people know that, but we started it. Brian Anthony and Debbie Glenn and myself actually started that. We were all on the CDAA board at the time, and we actually started that. It used to be associated with a little midget race, a car race, and it's a really interesting concept, and it really did well.
And it's done phenomenal. It was just last weekend,
right,
and
right. The city
thousands of people that come
right.
out, and the families, and so many of the families that don't get a chance to do a lot of stuff, get to really get out and be that family
right.
and be that community, and that's incredible. That's a big, big win for you guys. What y'all
right.
did for the
right.
city.
So we started that, and it got passed on to the Friends of Conroe, and they did it for a couple of years, and then from there the city took it over, and it's been very successful with it. It's a great event every year. We look forward to it, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The other thing we did is we started our farmers market, which now we do every first Thursday, and I think we've been doing that now for 3 years, and it seems to be successful. You know, we continue to do it. So our goal has shifted kind of from the early days of being more, you know, business oriented towards more event oriented, where we're trying to get people to come down. And as we do things, we notice that our growth grows from that, because
Right.
people come down, oh my goodness, I want to have a shop down here, you know. So the problem we got today is we don't have any place to put people.
Right.
And you know, I get calls all the time. We've got 3 buildings. We got a mix of real estate, of residential, office, and retail, and they're all full, 100% full. So it's a growing concern that if we're going to grow and continue to grow our downtown area, that we've got to expand that downtown boundaries. And there's some effort underway right now. City's on board with that, and so there's some effort. Dean Bass is helping us because he's got the bank on that side, and so what they're doing there, I think, is starting that.
Right.
We need to work on the east side a little bit, but there's some things happening, I think, that are going to be very, very good.
So let's do this, folks. We have an incredible young man. He is very effervescent, and his name is Harold Hutcheson. But if you love him and know him, it's just Hutch. He just popped into the studio. He's been out hanging signs because he's all in this festival. It's good to have you, Hutch. How you doing?
Well, it's good I remembered to come. I'm so sorry. And these folks have been having to listen to Rodney talk?
No. That's man. They're pretty good friends, so you can get away with that.
I can get away with that. Love this man.
So let's do this. Let's shift over to Hutch. Hutch is the head of the Conroe Convention Visitors Bureau. So I want to dive into Hutch. You and I had a conversation. Talk about the dream and the beginning of this festival, leading up to today.
You haven't talked about that?
We were just getting into it.
Okay.
He was giving us the history of the CDAA and all that.
Well, if you go way back, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I started paying attention to a festival that was happening out in West Texas called Viva Big Bend. And I got to know the organizer of that. And it's an event very much like this. We copied it, quite honestly. It is in Marfa, Fort Davis, and Alpine. And it's venues and one ticket, and they're all at one time. So I got to talking to this gentleman about it. And after about 2 or 3 years of talking to him, I finally got him to come here and meet Rodney and our city administrator, Paul Vergamo. And I walked him around, and we really thought we had him pretty much convinced to bring his festival here, and we'd name it ours and let them manage it. But it didn't happen. And Rodney couldn't let it sleep. And I thought it was over with, and my air was let out of my balloon. And Rodney came one day and says, I want to do this. And I said, I want to help you in any way I can. I'll try to get the city behind it, and I'll certainly help you. And that's when it started, Rodney picking up the baton and running with it.
Well, and what's beautiful about this, folks, if you've been paying attention, we've got one dream, 2 different styles, and 2 different ways. Hutch is talking about his dream that he saw for the city of this festival, talking to Rodney, and then Rodney, if you guys were listening, him and some of the men, and I want him to mention those names because it's very personal. It's very personal. And to those people in town, you'll understand when we get there. These are men, and there's been some women that absolutely help to shape so much of this city and so much of the fun of this community. But Rodney and his friends and his buddies, drinking beer, playing dominoes, had always dreamed about what Hutch brought them. So you've got the beginning of a dream. You've got another dream, a new dream that's like it. They came together, and it happened. And it's happening this weekend. So who were some of the men that helped inspire you to this?
Yeah, some of the early pioneers in this would be, of course, you can't do anything without mentioning Jay Ross. You know, he was a good friend. Leo Hewitt, Shirley Hewitt, his wife, both of them very active, very proactive in downtown, promoting downtown. Richard and Adeline Willis. Richard was an architect. He loved downtown. All of these guys were from Conroe. They all went to Conroe High School, and they all remember the time when they were growing up that downtown was the place to go. All the drugstores were down here. All the movie theater, everything was downtown. So they were interested in bringing that back. And there were Killer Vaughn. I I don't know if you know Killer
no,
Vaughn,
Killer
but
Vaughn.
he was, Charles Tullis is,
Killer
weird
was the
Charles
accountant, right?
Tullis, Charles is a great friend.
Charles Tullis.
We've had some great times together.
Is he going to be wearing purple today?
He had yellow and pink on last night at the first Thursday, so you can't miss him. But he was instrumental. He's still very devoted to downtown, participates in it, and so there's been so many people. I could sit here and think about them. There's been so many people all those guys are gone. They're all passed away except for. I know Richard and Adeline both are gone. Of course, Jay's gone. But Jay was kind of the leader of that. He had a way about him that he could get his things that he wanted to get done, and he was but a great guy. He'd do anything in the world for you. All those guys would. And we'd sit around in a beer joint and over at Domino Hall and talk about, gee, we ought to do this, we ought to do that. What about this? Let's go to the moon while we're sitting there thinking about it.
He really tells the story, and I came in from the backside of the whole thing. All that was happening years and years before I was lucky enough to land a job here. And my background being in historic preservation as a Main Street program manager first with the Historical Commission in Huntsville, working for Huntsville. That's how I first met Rodney. 4 or 5 years before I came here. And so when I came here, I'm all about tourism, of course. And one of the biggest things about it is having a town that's really got a central business and historic district. And so I can't avoid wanting that to grow and everything. That's the passion. There's an interesting thing they say. I read a paper sometime back by a professor that had studied new towns. And he said, if you will look, this is about 10 years old, so it's old news now. All the new developed planned cities or communities are building a town center, a fake historic district. Well, ours isn't fake. Right. Ours is real. Right. So we're blessed with that. Right. So we have something real to sell.
Well, this is what's beautiful is you've got the city is all in behind this festival.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
This isn't just some man or woman or company said, I'm going to go do a festival and I'm going to make some money. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, some of the best festivals are a for-profit. This is a non-profit. This is about community. This is about the city backing it. This is about volunteers. This is about, if the volunteer's been doing 5 hours or 50 hours, it's still just as important. It's about the person who is going to come out, the family that's going to come out, the individual's going to come out, that's going to have fun. And then there's going to be those that they need that break. They need that fun. Somebody's going to come out, like you said, and they may want to put a shop in downtown. Right. They may live on the outskirts. They're thinking about moving somewhere, and they're like, oh, man, this Conroe's pretty cool. And that's the part that we might get them to move here. Mm-hmm. There's so many facets to look at this when it's just a place to go out and listen to music and cut loose and have fun. I mean, when you break it down, it's just a simple 3 days to have fun.
It's quality of life. Mm-hmm. People see that we really do have a quality of life here.
And I'd like to mention, too, that it's purely 100% volunteer. Right. I mean, everybody working on this thing they're volunteering their time. And so it's the board has, we've identified a couple of beautification, so that any money we make off of, which we hope we at least break even, that's what we hope for. But it's bringing people downtown, seeing what we got, and shopping, spending money in the coffee shop, spending money at the Branding Iron, at the various restaurants we have, and any money we make off of it is going to go directly into a downtown project. Right. So it's not like we're taking money and doing, taking some personal income from it.
That's what got the city on board so fast, is when they said, look, we don't intend to make a profit. We'll pay our bills. Everything else is going to be reinvested into downtown.
Right. Well, see, and that's what we're going to do. Is we're about to take the middle of the hour break. But, folks, we need you to come back on in just a minute, because we're also going to bring Tracy on to talk about booking the bands. But here's the deal. Starting today, 6 o'clock to midnight. Saturday, noon to midnight. Sunday, noon to 6 p.m. 54 bands. Hello, that's right. 5-4. 54 bands at 6 venues, all covered, 4 of them air-conditioned, food and drink there. The 2 covered tents, drinks are there, and it's all walking distance. You don't need a car. You're talking 30, 40 yards at the max between each one. Red Brick Tavern, Corner Pub, Martin's Downtown, Sparkle Ice House, which is fixed to be renamed to Pacific Yard House, and 2 tents. 3 days of incredible community, freaking wonderful music. So when we come back, we're going to tell you the specifics about it. We're going to talk about some of the bands, and we want to see you. So, thanks for tuning in to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate, and we'll be right back.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
All right, folks, we are jamming to some Texas Boogie Woogie because we're going to roll into the weekend. Conroe Americana Music Festival, 54 bands, 6 venues, 3 days. Oh my gosh, what a party. Ezra's not going to, maybe Ezra doesn't have a gig this weekend, Tracy, and maybe he'll just come pop in.
Well, maybe he will. I hope he does. If you're listening to Ezra, you're welcome.
He kind of used to have hair kind of like that,
he
didn't
did. He used to have hair like that.
If we see a grand piano on fire, we know he's
we know
here.
it's Ezra, yeah.
All right, folks, we are back. You're listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate, and it is about you, not about me. So we're going to roll in. I want to introduce somebody to you that I just met. I don't really know her, but I want to. She's a mover, shaker. From what I hear, she's a very kind, gracious, warm-hearted young lady, but she's ready to do business.
Thank you.
Tracy Brandon, thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about you. Let us get to know you.
Well, I'm a huge live music fan, as I think everybody in this room is, and I've been just involved in the music community in Houston for probably, 15, 20 years now, and started, obviously going to live shows, meeting bands, and just trying to help out in any way I could, and getting involved in community radio in Houston, and getting to know the DJs there, which gave me more opportunities to kind of connect with the live music scene. And then I started, doing some volunteer work, doing some live music happy hours and Houston, and then had my own series, concert series there. Oh, wow. So HUTCH Live ran for a couple years in Houston. It was a great series. And then in that time frame, I met Rodney and was able to work with Rodney and Leanne doing some bookings at the Corner Pub. And just it kind of expanded from there. So I was able to start a booking agency and a business out of that, and just kind of continued to go on from there. And then Rodney was nice enough to ask me to be a part of this, and I'm so excited to have been. It's just been, I think, a labor of love for all of us, and it's been a really exciting time. I know Rodney's been working on it for a lot longer than I was brought in, but he brought me in September, I believe. Mm-hmm. So it's been a lot of fun.
And it's the inaugural. It's the first annual. So you've got hurdles that other don't. I mean, y'all are groundbreaking. So it also makes your job 10 times harder than in 5 years from now it's going to be.
Right. Yeah, it was, certainly kind of trying to figure out who our audience might be and figuring out what bands to bring in for this first year who was going to really attract our patrons to the festival. Was we had a lot of meetings about that, kind of figuring that out. So, but it's been fun. We hope we got it right. We kind of think we went in with the attitude, go big or go home. So
Yep. Yeah.
with 54 bands.
So tell us real quick your business. There might be somebody out there that needs you. What's your business?
There might be. My the name of my business is Now Hear This. So you can find me on the web at nhtagency.com. So I do bookings for venues, events, and bands, festivals, and do social media for bands, and just trying to get the word out there for live music in general. So
cool.
I have a lot of other ideas coming up. I'm working with a lot of other people for some other things, and I'll be offering a lot more services in the future.
Awesome. So how did you decide who to bring in? Tell us some of the people you brought in, and tell us some of the key people that maybe they're a big marquee name already, and tell us about some of the sleepers that you want people to know about.
Well, we have, if you're from the Houston area, well, we'll start off with Conroe Boys, Folk Family Revival. So they're from Conroe. They're signed up. They were all in from the beginning. They said, we want to play all 3 days. So if you're from the Conroe area, they're really just gaining a lot of ground nationwide. I believe they're about to do a tour after they leave our festival.
Wow.
So, and Carolyn Wonderland's been a great blues rock performer from, originally from Houston. Now she's based out of Boston. So she's been around for many, many years, and she's playing 2 days of our festival. So she was very excited about doing that. So just the headliners tonight, and Billy Joe Shaver, he's an incredible singer-songwriter, Texas singer-songwriter, has written a lot of songs for a lot of artists, and just a great man in and of himself. So he's headlining tonight. And then Green River Ordinance, they're kind of, they have a huge following, so we're really excited to have them. They're one of on our CDAA stage this evening, so we expect to have a big crowd. So sleepers tonight, I mean, I don't know if there's any sleepers that we have. Everybody's so wonderful. The Peterson brothers come on before Carolyn Wonderland. They're great, another kind of blues rock kids. And they're amazing. They're teenagers. I talked to their mom on the phone. Their mom advanced their show, so it's just really exciting. But they've been playing a lot of festivals around Texas, and they're great. And they're someone that I would highly recommend seeing. And again, if you're into singer-songwriter stuff tonight, Terry Hendricks and Lloyd Maines, if anybody's familiar with the Dixie Chicks, that girl Natalie, Lloyd's her daddy. So he'll be here tonight playing with Terry Hendricks, and so we're really excited about them. But and the Mastersons are gaining a lot of ground too. So that I think that people are kind of getting to know them. But they would be tonight's sleeper would be the Mastersons. I can't Saturday. I would say everything.
Wow,
if you want, Saturday is going to be an amazing day, an amazing evening. But Mike Ferris, Saturday evening, comes on right before Ruthie Foster. I talked to his booking agent when I was going through this process, and he played the Red Rock Festival in Colorado, and they said that they had national touring acts, acts that would fill, stadiums and everything. But the highlight of that festival was Mike Ferris. So we were really excited to have them. He had a lot of great press around him. So if you're going to if you want to see Ruthie Foster, get in there early to see Mike Ferris on Friday night. I would camp out. So it's Martin's downtown is going to be full.
So camp out starting tonight till tomorrow?
Right, yeah, you might want to do that. Just buy a ticket, But we also, one thing that we are so thrilled to have with this festival is we have Grammy Award-winning and Grammy-nominated artists. So along with, we're really proud to have all of our local artists as well, and all of their people that are kind of just getting their start or maybe haven't made a big name for themselves. So we have that, and we have, Grammy Award-winning, Grammy-nominated artists. This is, amazing. So we have a lot of people coming on. So.
And it's really cool. Guys, she just threw out a bunch of names and here and there and times and stuff and days. Important thing to remember at this festival is you can buy a ticket for each day if you can only make one of those days, or you can buy a ticket for 2 days, or you can buy an armband for all 3 days, and you can come and go. Let's say that you want to come out and rock and roll for a couple hours and have some fun. And then you got football in the morning and the Golden Girls, and you got whatever. You got swim team and you got soccer, and you're not free until 3 or 4 o'clock. Okay, great. So come out at 3 or 4 o'clock and stay till midnight. Or you can come out at noon when they get started, but you got something to do at 5 o'clock. So you stay till 4. Oh my gosh. And then you come back after church because it's 12 o'clock Sunday. You come and go. You get into the venues with an armband.
Right.
So if you're out here all day and your group wants to hear rockabilly, and maybe you get tired of rockabilly because you're not into it, well, then you run over here to the Texas Blues and you meet up with them later. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Right, and that's one thing that I like the way that we, in the beginning, built our sets, or our time frames. We booked every band for an hour and a half. So you literally, in that hour and a half, and everything's overlapped, but in that hour and a half span, you could take in 30 minutes of, and get 3 different bands in. And everything, and another great thing about this festival, everything's really in a 3-block radius. So it's just just a skip away. I wouldn't even say a hop, skip, and a jump, but, it's a couple feet and you're in another venue.
And then if you like one of the venues,
Yeah.
if you want to just sit in the corner pub and stay there all
Right.
day,
And
or Red Brick or Martin's, you can
Right.
do that.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with any lineup and any venue. I mean, I really was very blessed to have the opportunity to kind of help, with Rodney's guidance, build the schedule like we did, because you just can't go wrong anywhere.
And then what's neat is you've got all the downtown merchants. If you need to get a haircut, they're going to be open. If you need some ice cream, Conroe coffee, you need some coffee, they have food.
If you need a new outfit,
branding on Cowtown. Oh,
yeah,
man.
you can go.
I've got a few friends that have just recently gone there, and they love Sarah at
Yeah,
Cowtown.
Sarah's
And then
great.
Branding Iron, and then Brownlee Jewelers, and then on and on and on. And then you've got vendors and food trucks and stuff out there. What are some of the outside vendors you're going to have? Tell us a little bit about generically. Do you know?
Well,
Well,
I
I
know
know we got some food trucks.
Right, we
Yeah.
have food trucks. We have a
We have-
food truck
We
court.
have 10 food trucks coming.
Okay.
I can't. We had a committee that was, in charge of all of that, and they made the arrangements.
But here's what's neat about that, Rodney. You don't have to pay to come downtown and go to the food trucks and the vendors.
Right,
That's what's beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you can
Right.
go visit all the food trucks and visit all the shop
Absolutely.
for free.
So God
Food truck,
forbid you're not
yeah.
into music. God forbid you don't want to buy a ticket. Come downtown
But if you like to eat and
Hang
shop,
out
and
with
eat and hang out.
yeah.
And I got a feeling you can kind of sit over in the park and kind of hear some of that music anyway, huh?
No. Well, and
But-
some of the vendors will. And there's going to be some people selling, their homemade crafts and stuff. I
Right.
know that there's Southern Stars, our major sponsor, but there's going to be a brewery another brewery, Megaton Brewery, is going to be giving free beer samples. So if you would need free beer, so there'll be one of them.
But that's
craft
really
vendors.
cool that Southern
Yeah.
Star is going to be here.
Yes,
They are
yes,
a
they
hometown
are
brewery.
our
They
hometown
started
brewery.
out like this,
Right.
and then now look at them.
Right, and they were all in from the beginning.
Well, they were
yeah.
the first to step
Right.
up.
Yeah.
They were the first ones in the meeting Hutch and I had with them. They said, "We're in. Just count us in."
Wow.
When we started talking.
Yeah.
CEO and really nice master there. He sees the vision as well. Great man.
Yep.
Great guy.
And he cares about his people. He couldn't make it on the radio yesterday because one of his employees is ill, and he had to go spend some time with them. That's how many bosses say that, male or female? How many people say that?
Yeah.
I can't promote my business because I got to take care of my employee. Folks, we're going to take a break. It's going to be a short one, and I'm telling you, when we come back, between Hutch, Rodney, and Tracy.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
All righty, folks. Friday, Montgomery County. I've got this echo in my head. Now I can hear on both sides, but I'm like in a cave. What are you trying to tell me, Tracy?
Well,
You know, I don't know. Her and Rodney, they got a little close over there. They started whispering or whatever. So if y'all don't see me this weekend, something happened, okay? Call 911. All right, folks. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be out here all weekend. I'll be taking photos of each venue and the bands. We're going to try to throw that up on Facebook every couple of hours. We're going to throw up some feedback and the photos. We'll be doing some little snippet videos and stuff like that as well, so that you can see it. You can know what's going on. And if you're out here, find us. There's probably going to be a lot of people taking pictures and a lot of people doing stuff, but find me and let me know what you think about what these folks have done as far as the festival. And then tomorrow and Sunday too. So, Tracy, we were just talking. I think it's real important. Tell us all the kinds of music that's going to be here mixed all 3 days.
Yeah, well, I wanted to kind of mention that this is a festival for kind of any music lover. We have bluegrass, we have Americana, we have roots rock, we have blues, we have Texas country music. We've got it all. So and it's playing every day, and you can find something for yourself every day. So there's something for everybody, and it's something for everybody at every venue, and it's just going to be a really good time. And so if you only like blues, we've got blues every day. If you only like Americana, we've got Americana every day. If you only like bluegrass, we have bluegrass every day.
Yeah.
So there's really something for everybody. But if you're a music lover in general, like Hutch, Rodney, and I are, we wish, and we would love to be at every venue. And I don't know if we're going to make it to
That's
every
what's so
band,
funny
but
is you guys are
it's for
working.
us. It's so hard because we're like, well, who do we see? So we really I can just tell you, you can't go wrong with any show. So they're all great, really good.
So, real quickly, while the brains here, and let's spend 2 minutes real quick giving some love. Let's talk about a few of the sponsors.
Sure.
Let's talk about a few of the committee chairmen or stuff like that. If you won't be able to get everybody, I'm sure, and that happens. But folks know that you're loved if you're a part of this. Is that correct? I mean, so Rodney, there's got to be some sponsors, some people you would love
Well,
to say thank
all our sponsors, I mean, we had a lot of sponsors, the Southern Star, City of Conroe, CVB, Chamber of Commerce, those were Red Brick Tavern. Those were some of the guys that stepped up early in the game and said, yeah, let's do this. We'll support you any way we can, and they've been very good. We've had a lot of smaller sponsors, which are very important to
Right.
us, too. They're just, there's probably too many of them to mention every one of them, and I'm sure I'd miss some of them.
Well, I can tell you guys are putting it on your Facebook pages, but Montgomery County Lifestyle, I know where you've got that list, and I'll
Right.
promote that as well too,
Great.
folks, because
Yeah, they're important.
your dollar is important, and it's gone a long way.
And let's
Absolutely.
not forget the website too, because it
Yes.
has everything that's going on. You can go there and see everything.
Right.
Conroe Americana Music Festival.com.
Right. Our schedule is listed. All of our sponsors are listed. Yeah.
Lodging?
Lodging. There's some hotels that have offered discounts for lodging. So just to mention the Conroe Americana Music Festival, and they'll give you your discount.
We have to mention our volunteer. I mean,
Yes.
we've had 8 committees working since October, and so we've been meeting almost every week. At least once. We started out meeting once a month, and then as it got closer and closer, we started meeting more often. And we almost got down to the point where we were having 2 and 3 meetings a day last week,
Right.
I think. But every one of them's worked real hard. They've all volunteered their time. Many of them have businesses to run their own, and couldn't have got it done without them. I mean, they've just been incredible.
I've seen a lot of committees, and I've never seen a group of people work as hard as this one has. And the fact that they're all running their own businesses and have, different homes and families and everything else to do, coming together, never a complaint, and they stand up, take charge.
Well, let's mention volunteers because you do have openings for a few more volunteers, and that's what's really cool. I talked to Janice. I talked to Debbie. We did a quick little video yesterday calling out for volunteers. We're going to do another one today. Volunteers only have to work an average of a 3-hour shift, correct?
Right.
Correct.
And it's fun because right now you need people to work the venues, to check wristbands, to be stagehands. So you're there in the venue helping, and you're surrounded by the music and the fun people,
Right.
and you get a free T-shirt, and you get a free day pass.
Sure.
So you put in 3, and I bet you're going to have some people that volunteer for 3 hours and say, oh, no, I can do some more, I can do some more. But
We
you're
hope so,
part of
yeah.
the groundbreaking year.
Right.
So, folks, talk to your friends, talk to your buddies and your pals and your organization. Go to Conroe Americana Music Festival.com and volunteer, and then get to know some of these people.
Some bunch of great folks. I mean, I've known Rodney for a long time, but I've been so grateful to meet Hutch through this process, and Sarah with Cowtown Couture, and Debbie Kruger with Branding Iron, and everybody has been just so dedicated. I'm don't live in Conroe myself. I live in Houston, and I love coming up here, and I've been spending 2 or 3 days a week up here for several weeks and months, and it's just been, the people of Conroe are really dedicated to this, and it's amazing to see that, and everybody come together, and like Hutch said, without complaint, and to give so much of their time and have a passion for really doing something for the city of Conroe, but specifically for the downtown area.
Right.
So I have to give it out to them. So
Well, this will be on YouTube, and we'll blow it out tomorrow morning. So everybody that's listening, grab it, tag it, share it, blow it up. We've got 1 minute left. Rodney, what would you like to leave us with?
Well, I'd just like to I thank everybody once again. It's kind of it's a huge project, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, as any project this size has. We've learned a lot. We've probably got a few more days to learn a lot more, and so we're going to make mistakes. But our plan is to do this every year.
Right.
So we're going to learn a lot this first year. I think we already have. A lot of us have, and so we're going to adjust it and look forward to next year as soon as it gets behind us.
What would you like to leave us with?
I would like to say buy tickets. Visit www.ConroeAmericanaFestival.com and get your passes today. We do have limited capacity,
Right.
so you can't go wrong with the $75 for a weekend pass, 54 bands. I wanted to add up what the ticket value is of seeing 54 bands. It's got to be in thousands for
Right.
dollars for just $75.
And they can
If you
buy
were to-
a ticket for today or Saturday
They
or
can.
Sunday,
Right.
or the incredible value is come and go as you please for $75
Absolutely.
all 3 days.
Right,
Free
absolutely.
parking,
Free
Free
parking.
parking?
Yes.
and you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Come and go as you said.
And the festival really, especially for this type of music, rockabilly, Texas, Americana, roots rock, blues, it certainly rivals anything that we have had in the area.
Well, in Texas.
In Texas, yeah.
I don't think, I'd put this line, and we go to a lot of festivals, and I'd put this line up against any festival in Texas.
Well,
Maybe anywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, for this genre of music that we're having.
Rodney Pool, Tracy, Hutch, thank you for being here today. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, and the people that I get to help be a part of and represent. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Folks, Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 to 12. Tune in. You have an idea for a show? Let me know. You want to be on the show? Let me know. Go to Montgomery County Lifestyle Facebook page. We're all about the community. It is only about the community. We're going to have a great weekend because we're going to be here. Where are you going to be? Conroe, Americana, Music Festival.com. Get your tickets, and I'll see you. Remember, this is your county, your life, and it's your style.
Thanks for checking out this recording from Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station and broadcasted live from Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Interested in sponsoring this show, being a guest, hosting your own show? Then please visit us online at irlonestar.com and check out the Contact Us page. We want to say thank you to our studio supporters. Our traffic sponsor, Conroe Americana Music Festival at ConroeAmericanaMusicFestival.com. For more information about the show, please check out the information below in the description.